That's your own fault. You just weren't paying attention. Has anyone ever told you have like a really good Disney villain laugh?
Oh, people like my laugh.
Oh, I concur.
But I've never heard that it's a Disney villain.
The one you just had was like, I liked it.
Well, I'm all about doing what you like. Hi.
Welcome to Confidently Insecure, the podcast where we're absolutely sure we don't know everything. I am your host, Zach Noe Towers. I almost said my name.
You almost said your name, you perverted bitch.
I know.
And I'm Kelsey Darragh. Hi.
Hi! I haven't seen you in 2 fucking weeks.
At least we haven't recorded in more than that
In
because
years.
we stockpiled.
And I was in New York, and now I'm back.
You were in New York. Wait, give me like the New York, like,
Goss.
yeah, the highlights, the lowlights.
Oh, I got you, baby.
I can't wait.
Because this falls right under housekeeping. Wait, where did your voice go in that? I always thought you were on that track.
I am on it. Bing, bing bong.
Housekeeping. Where's your voice?
That's crazy. I was on that.
It's haunted.
How did it even do it?
How
did
did
it
it
even
take it away?
Wait, try the other ones. I'm scared.
Okay,
I'm
still there.
Don't Google it.
You're there.
Bing bong.
Housekeeping. Dude, maybe you have just always said it with it, because every time we do record, you go, housekeeping. And I think we've just now believed you've always been on it. I'm unwell. It's still haunted.
What if I died? Like,
Today?
what if I'm dead? And like, this is how you find out.
Oh my God, that you don't actually exist.
That I don't actually
Then I'm
exist.
writing this into a movie and cashing
Yes,
in.
do it, girl.
Okay,
New
housekeeping, New York, crazy, fun. Went with Sir, as y'all recall. This was a big trip. This is our first ever lovers vacation, and it went almost perfect.
Yeah.
There was like a little like thing towards the end that we'll actually get into later, because we're actually talking about this for the podcast this episode.
I love when something traumatizing happens to Kelsey, because it means we have our episode picked for the next week.
When I texted you, hey, I want to do fighting with your partner, you were like, say less.
Yeah, like, let's go.
Juice. 2 things that I like specifically wrote down about this trip was, for the first week, we went to my best friend Lacey's house to see my new goddaughter, the new baby, upstate. And we spent like a week in the woods with them, which was incredible. So like New York summer at the lake in a cabin in the wood. It was so fun.
Is that where she lives full time though?
Yeah.
Why? Is she okay?
Pandemic move.
Not
and
witness
then, like,
protection or
that I'm aware of.
Okay.
She couldn't tell me, could she? She's only allowed to be herself with me. Oh my God. But y'all, you think you want children.
No, I don't.
Oh, that's right. You go spend a week in the woods with 2 kids. 1,
No.
fun, cute, hee hee ha ha, and 2 is cuckoo.
I bet. What ages? Wait, one's a baby.
2 and 6 weeks old.
Oh my God.
It was nuts. And this has nothing to do with the children or the people. This is just the environment of 2 now.
Yeah.
Even in the best of terms.
Yeah.
Is insane.
Well, because they say it's like 2-on-1 and then becomes 1-on-1.
Yes. And like, God forbid your partner's on a phone call or at work, then it's 2-on-1 the other way. And it's cuckoo bananas.
Were either of the kids even crate trained?
Like, it's insane. Like, Lacey is the best mother I know. Like, she's such a good mother.
Yeah.
And even still, she'd be like, I give up. Do what you want. Here, take it. Or like the baby would be like, put me up. And then you pick her up. And she'd be like, I want to go down. And you're like, okay. And then she's like, pick me back up. And you're like, no. I got to walk away from this, my guy. But let me tell you, having Hippo there was like the best fucking thing, because she and Hippo would like play together for hours.
That's incredible.
And I was like, here, take this dog.
Yeah, take this baby.
Hippo wanted to eat the 6-week-old
Oh, no.
baby.
Wait,
he wanted
really?
to eat it.
Wait,
Yeah.
no.
Her. She's a her.
We don't know that.
You're right.
Wait, did Hippo really actually have like teeth out to
Not
eat the baby?
teeth out, but like aggressive sniffing to the point where I was like, are you going to bite this baby's face?
What if Hippo just swiftly ripped one of its legs off?
I don't even know what I would do. I'm like, well, Lacey wouldn't be friends with me anymore, but I can't put Hippo down.
I mean,
Hippo was more just like anytime it cried, it's a she. He would freak out and like go to its crib and like check in on her, and like he just wanted to be like.
he's like, why is my dinner making so much noise?
It was chaos, but like we were in the woods, so it was relaxing, so it was fine. The second moment of chaos was when we were in this city, and this was very hee hee ha ha. There are bike rentals all over the city.
City bikes?
Yes, they're amazing. So fun to do. They also now have rental Vespas.
Oh, no.
And you know.
No.
Zachary, you fucking know. I signed up for that immediately. And these Vespas that you rent are for two people because it comes with two helmets. They sit on the back and sit on the front. And it only goes 30 miles an hour. That's as fast as it goes, which is very fast.
Yeah.
But when you're in the city, it's perfect because you can weave in and out of cars. You can like go around uptown. Like it's very practical. We get on one to go to the Yankee game. We're staying in the West Village. The Yankee Stadium is about 100 blocks.
Oh my God.
North and then to the right.
In Connecticut?
Pretty much. We get on this Vespa. So far, so good. Everything's cruising. Sir's on the back. We're kind of like, whoa. What I didn't realize was we got on a highway by accident.
Oh my God.
So we are going 30 miles an hour up a hill, up like a bridge hill.
Oh my God.
Onto a highway that we can't get off
That
of.
is literally the scariest thing And fucking, I was just thinking the last thing stupid tourists need in New York is to be able to go faster.
Yes, it was so, I was pissing my pants. Sir was so nice not to freak out until we got off the highway. But as soon as we pulled off the highway, there was a cop standing on the corner, like doing street patrol. And I was like, hey, are these allowed on the highway? And he just like started laughing and was like, no.
Oh my God.
And I was like, oh my God. It was
Kelsey.
so funny. People were honking at us,
course.
tailgating us. It was probably like 20 blocks worth of driving that we couldn't get off the highway. Like there was not an exit.
Oh my God.
And then I was like, okay, we're just going to take the streets, like the city streets up to the stadium. And when we got to the stadium, there's a bridge that you have to cross. It's a little bridge, but it's a bridge.
Yeah.
And there were other Vespas in front of us. Now you could tell these were New Yorker Vespas because they literally like weren't wearing helmets. They were like smoking cigarettes while they were driving.
Sure. They're going, hey!
Yeah, pizza pie. And they are weaving in and out of cars.
So you start doing that?
Zach, we became part of like a Vespa gang for like a whole bridge. And it was, I was scared. I was like weaving in and out of cars like inches.
You have a death wish. You do.
And
your body already
collapses.
Doesn't work.
No. You're right.
Period.
And
then you're like, let's add a Vespa accident to this.
And a bridge in a city that I should not be driving a Vespa in. But it was hilarious. And I got to say, Sir was so nice and kind. And like, I would like skirt through and like a car would cut me off and I would like skirt around it. And I'd hear him just go, yes, baby. Good job, baby. Like he was cheering me on like for our lives.
This is codependent. This is destructive behavior.
Abusive. Yeah,
this
absolutely.
Is not good.
No, it was so scary, but so fun. So those were my two updates.
God.
I know.
I have nothing compared to that.
Nothing happened while I was gone.
No, I told you I made a big porn mirror.
That's right.
I have 90s porno magazines from this secondhand store and I Mod Podge them, shellacked them. Decoupage. Have you heard that? Yeah. And it's cute. It's really cute.
Yeah.
But I really put my life on hold to do it.
You could sell this.
I could.
How much
but
did
I
you
think
sell
I'm
it for?
enjoy it first. I don't know, like $500.
Ah!
It's a big mirror.
It is a big mirror.
And it's a piece now.
It's custom watts.
It's a fucking 90s gay porn 7-foot mirror.
It's a ZNT original.
Yes, it is.
See, I think maybe you should start like a little Facebook marketplace for these DIYs.
Yeah. I'm open to it. I truly put my life on hold to complete this. But what I mean by that is like I have other things I should be probably doing.
Maybe.
And I was like, the mirror is important too.
It's fucking it's relieving of stress.
Yes.
Crafting and DIYing and building things and redecorating, it's meditative.
And there's something about completing something. When we, of all people, have projects that are literally never ending. Projects that end, quote unquote, and then just keep going. What?
And we gotta put pasty mirror dicks on.
Yes. Period.
But you had fun.
I had a great time. And I hooked up with a boy who has a boyfriend, which is perfect for me because I ain't looking for
That's true.
a baby daddy. And he's like 6'3" and kind of scruffy and beautiful penis. And it was just nice to like make out and roll around and like
feel something.
Get my booty. Yeah.
You got your booty ate?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Did you make sure to wash your own mouth out later so you don't get foot and mouth?
I forgot that you gave yourself an ass disease.
Yes.
No, I didn't.
I also just went to the gyno to do my annual.
Yeah.
Which is how I know you don't watch my Instagram stories because you've not asked me once about my boobs.
No. I love them. Are they staying?
You have no idea what's going on, do you?
No, I don't watch stories. I don't watch anything when I don't have to.
I went for my annual. I was actually going just to get like another STD screening. And she was like, do you want me to swab your throat? And I was like, yes, because I know that it's a silent sleeper. My best friend had the silent gyno sleeper in his throat and I want it too. Give it to me. So I thought I was there for that. She goes and feels my boobies and she goes, you got a lump.
Oh my God.
And I went, huh? And she's like, feel right here. And I'm going, holy shit. That is a lump. I would have never like felt that. And she's like, look, I'm not a breast expert. So
I'm not a breast man. I'm more of an ass doctor.
Imagine your gyno says that. I'm not really a pussy guy, but I'll do it. And she was like, I don't even like to fuck around with this stuff. Like it's big enough that with your family history, my grandma and my aunt both died from breast cancer. She's like, I'm going to immediately send you over to a specialist. I said, okay. So I called the specialist and they were like, she can see you tomorrow or her next opening is like end of August. And I went, I'll cancel my whole day tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm coming in.
Yeah, duh. Oh my God. Instead of sitting on
that information.
What's the lump?
Yes. And so for like 24 hours, I was like,
feeling the lump,
constantly feeling my tits and being like, what if this is something? Like, what if this is like a thing? My grandma, my aunt, like my mom didn't have the BRCA gene, which means me and my sister are more likely because it skips a generation.
Oh my God.
So I asked her to come with me. He actually offered, which was really sweet.
Sir?
Yeah. And we go to the appointment yesterday morning and they start with an ultrasound. And I am going to show you now an ultrasound of my side tit.
Okay.
So this is full side boob. And that red circle is the lump. And then this is like that's like my skin.
Like the black thing?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And that's like all like breast tissue. And then that's my rib cage down here.
Okay.
So
skinny.
I know, it's so thin. So that big ass black hole, she was like, yeah, I don't like the look of it, but it's smooth edges. Well, first thing she said was when she looked at it, she went, you have a lot of cysts. So like all these black holes are cysts in my boobs. And she was like, that just might be like thin,
a big cyst,
thin like women or like thin, small boobed thin women.
Yeah.
Just have a type of tissue in their breast that like all of those are cysts. And so she's like, this could just be a giant benign cyst. And she's like, we can only tell so much on ultrasounds. So she's like, I want you to go get a mammogram done.
Is that when they squish it?
Yeah.
Ow.
So now I have to go get a mammogram. But she's like, I'm 95% sure this is benign based on what I can see.
Great.
But she's like, given your family history, given your age, like there's no room in even like fucking around.
So when something is benign,
it means not cancerous.
correct. But does it just stay and hang out?
So I learned so much yesterday too. Like this doctor was really good. And it's also Grace Helbig's breast doctor, in case anyone's following her breast cancer journey. She told me that just like ovaries, cysts can go away on their own. They can be like hormonal. So around your period, they could like grow and then they could shrink on their own. They also could get like fluid filled and they become really painful. And so they have to like drain them and take them out on their own. And then some of them can turn into the bad cysts, which is the cancerous cyst.
So a benign could turn into a malignant.
Yes. But I think because of the way it looks, if it was bad, we would have seen more shadowy. It would have not been as dark. It would have been like funky shaped.
Or like smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, like, hey, what's up?
Hey, you kids want
And so basically she's like, because you have that type of breast tissue, you're going to want to come in like once a year to get screened to look at that. Because like I've lived 32 years of my life not knowing I had cysty titties, which will be my next drag name.
Cysty titties?
Yes.
That's funny.
Yeah. So there's like all kinds of cysts, and like sometimes you just live with them and nothing ever happens. But because of circumstantial and like how good detection is now, there's no reason not to.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry I didn't know about this. I am.
No, I'm laughing because I was like, oh yeah. He would have obviously been like, oh my God, your tits.
Come over, I'll take it out right now.
You're going to just bite my boobs.
Yeah.
No, but it's fascinating. It's an interesting, I went through like a whirlwind of 24 hours of emotion.
I bet.
And then now that I know I'm like 95% in the clear, I'm like, whew, y'all need to go get your annuals. Go get your titties felt.
Yeah.
Like no reason to fuck around. The technology's there.
I know. I wonder if it's like, is that within people's reach, like insurance wise?
If you have insurance, yes.
Okay.
Preventative care and like preventative diagnostic care is usually always covered. Do you get your balls and your butthole checked?
Yeah, my doctor's definitely put a finger up there, and he's definitely like, oh, you know what we still do is like the cough. Yeah.
Turn your head to the left thing.
Which I don't even understand.
What are they checking for?
I don't know.
I think it's supposed to.
What if that was the standard COVID test? They grab your balls and then you cough. No, I guess it's probably like
you feel
like the balls move and they're supposed to.
Oh, because if they're just like rock hard, he's like, stop getting a boner, A, and B, why are your balls like little weights?
Well, stop being a hot daddy doctor.
Ooh.
I think I actually have to change doctors because he's too popular, and every time I have to schedule, like he has to reschedule, it's like 3 months.
No.
Yeah.
What
do you think about getting like a younger doctor who's very eager to help? Well, I'm just saying this guy's like older and like obviously accrued all the.
I prefer the young,
I think
modern,
young and hungry, where they're like actually,
and they're up to date with like the technology. Because I was just having this conversation about like with tattooing. You want like a more young, seasoned who like understands how today's tattooing works versus like an older dude who just has done the same style who like doesn't keep
who's like
up.
etching it in with a hammer and
like
spike,
stick and
like,
poke. Yeah, like there is just, you want a professional who keeps up to date with the times
and who can like text me my STI results.
Do not call me.
Like, hey slut, you're clear. That's a
thumbs up. You just thumbs up it. Oh my God. But yeah, wait, but you haven't done the thing where they stick a camera up your butthole?
Colonoscopy.
You have?
And I'm much too young, technically. I'm just saying.
My God. I don't know why.
You know what I'm going to go on record as saying? I hate that board. It's caused us, I think, more strife.
I just got it because I wanted buttons for segments. That's the only reason why.
But we use it to really terrorize our listeners.
And ourselves. Let's be real.
So guys usually don't get a colonoscopy, I think, until they're in their like late 40s. But I had that virus, or not virus, I had a parasite and it wasn't going away. And so then it finally went away, third round of antibiotics, antibacterials. I was just swallowing
soap up your
shout
butt.
wipes. No antibiotics, and then it went away. But then when he checked, there was like blood in my stool, and he's like, we might have gone too hard with the antibiotics. He was
well, you
honest,
gotta clean out the wormies.
Yeah,
I'll take a bloody butt.
Totally. Is that a jury duty summons?
Oh my God, my first one. My
Have you had to
first
call in?
one. It's not till the 31st, so in like 2 weeks.
Okay.
And I had to like go online and say, I'm a human. I exist.
What a nightmare.
I've never had it.
Oh, I did it once.
And it's for a murder court.
Stop.
It's not like, I forget, Sir's a lawyer. And he was like, oh, this is for the criminal court. So it would be like
a big thing.
Yeah.
Like a felony or something.
Yeah. It's not like a infraction traffic accident.
I don't think those often have maybe a traffic thing, like an accident thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they only have juries if it's like kind of a
criminal.
Yeah.
I guess there's a difference between criminal and like
no bad.
Bad.
Boo
Boo-hoo.
No,
don't do that.
Don't do that.
Stop it.
What were you talking about?
Butthole.
My
blood.
butthole. It's always a good bet, but
we're in such a Friday mood. We're
so he was like, I want to get up in there.
Ooh.
Basically, that's what he said.
Buy me a drink first.
Yeah, he was like, I want to see inside your hole. And I was like, you
Get
won't be
in
the
line.
first, you won't be the last. And he did. And then when I came in to see my results, which I still have the pictures if anyone wants them, like the inside of my asshole.
I would love to
and
see
he
that.
goes, you have a textbook perfect colon.
Bragging. Put
I
that
know.
in your Grinder Pro.
I know. I said, does that mean you want to take me home and study it? And
Stop.
he didn't think that was funny.
No.
But
That's harassment.
But textbook perfect colon.
Well, glad your butthole's cool.
Thank you. I wish the same for your titties.
Yeah, I'm sure they will be. Because I got all of this done, by the way, because of my egg freezing journey, which we will do a podcast episode about.
Thank God. I've been dying to know about what my next move should be in that department. I like the idea of aliens coming down and taking over the planet, and then
they find our egg,
using the eggs, but like as caviar, and like eating a bunch of like human eggs as caviar.
That's so fucked up.
I mean, yeah, you know what we're doing to fish, right?
Damn.
I'm just saying.
Whoa, you were not wrong.
Mm-mm.
Thank you for that visual.
Yeah. Humbling.
Before we carry on, let's go to a quick break. We're back. Okay, so this week's episode, I'm bringing my TikTok taught me into our subject matter because I wanted to get your opinion.
Okay.
On
Oh wait, mine or the listener?
You.
Okay.
The guy I'm talking to.
Okay.
But listeners, leave your opinions in the comment below.
How aggressive.
I'm feeling Friday. This Jonah Hill conversation. I feel like it wraps nicely into the conversation we're having. Today's subject is about fighting with your significant other, tough convos, how to fight.
Yes.
But I've been reading some really interesting discourse on this conversation around Jonah Hill. For anyone that's not aware, he had an ex-girlfriend that posted a bunch of text messages and DMs between her and her ex, Jonah, where basically he was using therapy language
Oh my God. As a weapon
to make her change who she was as a person, what she did for a living, how she dressed, how she acted, who she hung out with. And a lot of people were divided, I saw on the internet, because of course a lot of men were saying he was stating his boundaries.
Yeah.
And if she can't be with him, then that doesn't make him a bad person for stating your boundaries. And then, of course, the other part is like, no, that's not setting a boundary. That's controlling. That's manipulation. That's gaslighting.
Totally.
And the thing that I saw that was like a light bulb moment in me, because this had also happened in previous relationships with like the word boundaries, was this major clarification, which is boundaries are for you, not to put on other people.
That really just was the puzzle piece I needed.
Boundaries are something that you make a decision on. hey, this person crossed my boundary, therefore I am going to remove myself.
Yes.
This is my boundary, and if you cross it, it is my responsibility to walk away from it.
Yeah.
It is not, these are my boundaries, and if you cross them, it's your fault.
Right.
It's your
You'll be
own,
penalized. You'll be, I'm telling you what I'm comfortable with.
And if that is not in alignment, it is not up to the other person to figure out.
So wait, is there a world in which he just needed to rephrase everything?
Well, I think that's what the conversation has kind of come to is like, A, he was weaponizing therapy language, which him making a movie about therapy did not help.
I know. Did you watch it?
I tried to.
Oh, it's not good?
It was so self-serving.
Damn.
I liked the therapist, but it was like everything else was kind of...
Sure.
And then it was for over a period of time that he would do this, where it was like, you're not allowed to hang out with these people. You're not allowed to wear these things because it crosses the boundaries of our relationship and you are the one ruining this thing.
Wow.
So I think if he would have rephrased it differently and walked away after the first time or the second time, even the third time, hell, I think people would have been more forgiving.
Oh, wow. So you're saying it's that you set up your boundaries, and then when the person is aware of them and still crosses them, it's is then your job to walk away.
Correct.
Not be like, you need to change.
Or like,
I'll stay,
you ruined
but you
this.
need to change.
Yes.
Yeah, like, this is your problem.
Yes.
Not. That's so fascinating.
Such a light bulb moment,
Yeah,
right? And this was very triggering for me because in a past relationship, I had an ex who said, my boundary is that I am not speaking to you right now. I am cutting off all communication and I will not speak to you. You are crossing a boundary by calling me and trying to talk to me.
Crazy.
And he made me feel like I had violated his fucking, I was the worst. And all I wanted to do was to speak to the person that I loved. You know what I mean? And so it was very healing for me to go, dude, none of that was my fucking fault. It was every part his right.
Because all he needed to say was, walk away. I need 24 hours.
Yes.
Of space.
Yes.
Or I tell you what you need.
Exactly.
So then you can make a decision. Not you are the enemy here. Correct. You're the culprit. You are the aggressor. God, it is like, leave it to straight men. And I'm sorry to the four of you who listen to this pod, but leave it to straight guys to like, okay, we'll go to therapy.
Yeah.
And then we'll fucking beat you over the top of the head with it.
Yes. That's kind of what people were saying is they're like, there is a specific type of person that gains power by going to therapy and then using it against someone. Because
people like this exist in both genders. Or in
yeah, of course.
I mean, and you'll encounter them too. They'll word things so then they've trapped you into a corner.
Oh, yeah.
Where then you have to be
the person,
the bad guy, basically.
Dude, I'm so glad we're talking about this because this so much goes into like the topic of conversation for this episode. But like, I have had to release a lot of that of when someone else puts something on me, right? Like, I had a partner that said once, like, well, now you're making me second guess myself. And I was like, wait, why does that sound like my fault that you're second guessing yourself? And I went, something just as subtle as that lingo. And another one, which we'll talk about too, is like when you're doing I statements, like I feel, they would say, or I would even do this sometimes, is it would be like, I feel betrayed or I feel abandoned, which still puts it on the other person rather than saying I feel hurt or like I feel sad right now or
I'm dealing with feelings of
anger or frustration. And instead it was like a sneaky way that I would be like, oh no, I'm using I statements, but I'm still putting it on you.
Or this is making me feel.
Yes.
Because it's like this.
Yeah.
You.
And a lot of like, I'm sorry you feel that way, but, and it's like, I'm sorry you feel that way.
That's such a
backhanded
cop out. Yeah.
But like, since we're here.
Wait. My TikTok taught me.
Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah. That was very, that, you know what? I have to set up a boundary and that if you don't give me
like
time to use my platform
every time.
No, it's just elevated s'mores. And
no, we are not. We are not. Oh my God.
And it's such
That's so funny.
It's such a simple swap out.
Go on.
And then we'll get back to fights.
Drama.
You swap out the graham cracker for a croissant.
Oh, I just came.
Dude, because the worst part of the s'more is that it cracks and crumbles, and you take one bite, and then it just is like every man for himself. And so with this, it's like it encases it, and it's this ooey, gooey,
bun.
Buttery. Anyway, okay, let's get back to.
No, that is such a good one.
Yeah.
Because also there's holes. It's very porous.
Yeah.
So it's gonna
seep in. Yeah. And we all love. Is it pain au chocolat?
Sure.
It's like a chocolate croissant.
Yeah.
With the little squiggle, little turdies of chocolate.
The crunchy.
No,
Just
not
a little bite.
Oh well. Oh yeah.
I like it when it's a little chalky.
Oh, you
little,
do?
Yeah.
See,
I
I'd
like
rather be
a snap,
more liquidy.
not I rabbi.
That's weird about you.
Okay.
I have another boundary then.
Your mother.
Your crunchy chocolate cravings. Okay, sorry. Go on.
Okay. Okay. Today's subject is fighting with your partner.
Fighting with your partner.
Having tough conversations.
I stress. I'm telling you this.
I can't take it anymore.
Yeah.
I'm over the edge. How are you in fighting? Like, what's
I'm getting
your fighting
better and
style?
better.
I've watched you be better.
This is Zach Noe Tower's one and only flaw. I am a spewer, not a stewer. And I think that's a prelude to a fight often.
Mm-hmm.
And so I am physically incapable of putting something aside, putting a pin in something. Like I
Act on
I
emotion.
can't do it.
You and I are very similar in that.
I want a clean slate. I want to be up to date.
Yes.
All the time. And I don't always get that.
No, because not everyone is capable at that moment in being able to be up to date.
I also, unfortunately, have only been wrong a handful of times in my life. But you can attest to this. I'm often right.
What the fuck?
But it's just like...
Let me rephrase that. You're not an unreasonable person.
Yeah, no.
You're not an unreasonable lover. You're not an unreasonable
picking
friend.
Fights. I'm not like...
No.
You're
drama free.
Yes. And that's how I like to be. I like everyone to be happy and getting along. So if something's like going awry, it's usually not me just stirring the shit pot, if that makes sense.
Well, you know what it is too? It's like you're very present and you can like read a room well.
Yeah.
So I also think even if something was like starting to stew in you to want to spew, you'd know how to like take it elsewhere and like
and
deal.
That's where I get to my first tactic. I shut down and I remove myself.
Oh, so in a way you're a spew and flighter.
Yeah.
That's the worst kind. You vomit and then you run away.
Throw it in. No, I actually don't. Isn't there a whole thing with like, if you can't like fix it in 5 minutes, like don't bring it up.
Yeah.
Like, and I would never, my goal is never to embarrass someone. So like in that, what?
Sorry, the thought of it was very funny.
Well, I'm just saying like if you and I have bickered before, but nothing like crazy.
Fighting,
yeah, no. I think the truth of the matter, I've only fought with like one friend in the past like 2 years.
Yeah.
And
you were right.
Yeah. And honestly, it's a good lesson though. Even when you are right in a fight, you have to
feel good.
No, it doesn't feel great. You have to keep in mind that like you love this person. It's still a net positive relationship. You see yourselves on the other side of this. You listen to what they are saying. And then it's just like fucking, you have to sometimes put your ego aside, or you have to be patient, or you have to be willing to like, I guess, compromise and just like, at the very least, hear them out.
If it's not a pattern too. Like I think
totally.
And to your point of like, when it becomes a relationship where you don't really see yourself coming out on the other side, you don't like care enough to like move forward with this, or like I'm not losing out at this point.
No.
Like that's when it's like, oof, okay.
Yeah.
So we have gone through and picked out some of our favorite tips on fighting with a partner. And this is something I'm really fucking good at because of what I went through with my ex Jared for like 8 months, was like figuring out how to end a relationship. And I think the only reason why we were able to like kind of stay friends after this is because we really at that point had learned how to fight really well.
Sure.
So these are tips and tricks for people to learn how to fight with your closest loved ones, a significant other, bestie. Here we go. Step one. It's not really step one. This is
I was going to say.
first thing to know.
Yeah.
These things that we're about to talk about only work with two people that are willing to do the work and show up for each other.
Which is honestly, I mean, literally probably 72% of relationships just didn't make the cut of that.
What a specific number.
I just think that a lot of people don't want to do the work.
They don't want to do the fucking work. And this also includes two people that are able to be sober and present in a moment. So this is not including like drunken fights or like DV abuse fights. Like this is not when like something is being unreasonable or intoxicated.
God. The fights that come up when you're drunk.
So stupid.
And it's like they wait until you're drunk.
Yeah.
Or like, anyway, go on. Just that's triggering.
That's triggering. And we heard this one that we both really liked was if it's possible, because it will be because you're both sober and you're both willing to look at a future and together and do the work, is that this is a tip I really like that I hadn't heard, is to set an intention for the fight. And I know that sounds a little woo-woo-y, but you want to actually figure out what the agenda of the fight is before you even start fighting. And what we often think a fight looks like is you want to shame and punish someone.
And like prove you're right.
But what we're actually looking for is connection, a way to come back together, how to seek understanding. To be heard, for someone to take accountability, to come back together. So even just going like out loud, like that we're going to have this is going to be a tough conversation potentially, but my goal with you is to have you see it from my side genuinely and authentically, and have the said parties take accountability where accountability is due. And I think something as simple as that could change like someone's defenses.
Totally. Here's the thing with that, and it's something I learned in sobriety. That's like truly the pause that you're supposed to take between feeling the thing and saying something. Yeah. And so the pause is where you would set an intention. You'd be like, okay, obviously we're both upset. I would like in this next 20 minutes to get to the bottom of this, that, and the other.
Yes.
I had a friend even who we were embarking on a weekend long project. And on the Friday before the Friday it started, like the Friday morning, we stepped aside and we're like, listen, this is probably going to get stressful. We're probably going to get into a tiff. Like, let's just like be aware of that now. And then like be aware when it's starting to happen and then just like deal with it. But like, even that was like, it was like taking a preemptive pause, which is, I think, exactly what you're.
And like to enter a space where you're like, hey, I'm not coming at you.
Right.
Because someone's going to throw up the defense real quick, or is going to self-martyr, or is going to freeze, fright, whatever. It's like coming in just being like, okay, say that thing about setting an intention. And then this is what I always loved that my ex-couples therapist would always say is like, the fight should always, no matter how much this fucking sucks, but the reason why you're here to fight is because it is you and your partner versus a thing, not you versus your partner. And as badly as you want to be like, no, this is me versus the shitty fucking thing you did. If you are going against them, then you are not seeking that future. You're looking to punish. You're looking to shame. You're going about accountability seeking in a too provocative of a way. So even if another person is the one that is fucked up, the only reason why you're even fighting is because you want to be with this person. If that is true, then it has to be you and that person versus that thing, not you versus that person.
So wait, I guess I'm confused. What would you label that thing?
So the infidelity, the dirty laundry, the miscommunication. So it's I'm on your same team and we are on offense and defense potentially, but we're both fighting to get to the same end zone.
Sure.
So setting that like along with your intention, because if you're not there, if it's a you versus me, it ain't healthy, it ain't gonna work out.
Sure.
And you're not really looking to repair. You're looking to punish.
Damn, that's something I could adopt more. I've never thought about it like that. Like we're on the same team, because it very much feels like shirts versus skins or whatever. Like I am right.
Yes.
You were rude,
and I can't
this is
walk
how
away
I can
from
show
this
you
until I get the apology or until I get the accountability or until you. And instead, if you just make that tiny switch to be like, even you had like texted me about it. You were like, let's make this a learning moment. Let's like, how can we remind someone that they need to do this thing? Or like, how can we find a better way to do it together? How can I find a better way to communicate to you that it's frustrating for me? Or, you know, it's more cohesive. It's more same team, same dream. I liked this one. Next tip, to make a safe word for fighting.
Yes. Taylor Swift has an epic.
Taylor Swift?
Taylor Tomlinson, the Taylor Swift of comedy. She has an epic joke where she's like, I asked my friend if he has a safe word for fighting. And he wanted to know, like, wait, what's that? And he's like, you know, it's a word that you say that effectively ends the fight. And he goes, oh, yeah, cunt. Which is so funny because it's like, that would stop a fight dead in its tracks.
Yep.
And
that's
anyway.
not what we mean.
I know. It's a joke.
But especially for people like me and you, which are spewers.
Yes.
Which means we like to just get everything out right then and there versus a stewer, which is usually someone who shuts down and needs time to process. Having a word where you recognize you have fallen back into a childlike state of irrationality, of yelling. You look like I just offended you.
I mean, it's just so interesting because I can place myself in that feeling.
Yes.
Where I'm just like about to throw a tantrum.
Yes.
And
that's
like,
exactly it.
And it's like my reality hasn't changed.
No.
The number of my bank hasn't changed. My apartment's still mine. Everything's great. And I'm like, I will burn this down.
And it's literally falling back into a childlike behavior. It's like, I can't get what I want, so I resort back to, or like the person's not giving me what I need, so I resort back to crying and screaming, which is what you would do before you could talk and walk.
Sure.
Because you would just cry and scream, and then your mom would be like, do you want a tit? Do you want a toy?
So nice.
Well, not for my sissy titties. So I love that, like making a safe word so that you both agree. If one of you calls it, then you take a break. But most importantly, the next tip was that if you are a stewer or an abandoner or someone who needs to walk away or shut down or use your safe word,
you give them a time frame.
You have to give the other person a time frame of when you will come back to it. It could be a week later. It could be a minute later. It could be a night later. You have got to tell your partner when you will come back.
I have a friend whose relationship just ended because in the fights they had, he would always bend first. And this most recent time, he did not bend. And he didn't hear from his partner for 2 weeks.
Insane.
And then he finally did bend at that point.
Oh my God. To be like,
I
cannot
assume this is over. But it's like, I'm totally on board with this. It's so interesting too. And this is where you really do have to decide it's you as a team, not you against each other, because it's like, you want this to be resolved.
Yes.
That should be the goal.
Yes.
Unless you were debating leaving this person or ending this friendship or relationship. So it's like, take your 5 minutes to an hour
to cool off.
Yes. But then be like, I need the weekend.
Yes.
Can we talk about this Monday morning?
And like, it's truly, I used to fucking hate this shit because my ex was a stewer who needed time.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until we learned that he needed to give me a time back that I became okay with it, because my fear of abandonment would get so triggered. You walk out the door during a fight, oh bitch, I will fucking hold that over you for the rest of my days. Remember when you walked out in the middle of my darkest moment, like my scariest, you're just reinforcing my fucking da-da-da-da-da, instead of being like, hey, that's very triggering for me for obvious reasons. It's embarrassing to admit, but we need a fighting word. And if you're going to leave,
I need to know when you're going to be back.
And it can't just be, I'm back in 5 minutes, I need break. It's, hey, I'm removing myself from this situation because I need pineapple. I need pineapple time.
And it's just so funny because it's like, if you can't do that, you're still in that childlike state.
You're still tantruming.
And you're using that to hurt the other person.
Exactly.
I'll show them. I won't respond to my text. Or you're
being berated, right? Like I know a lot of people that are like, I couldn't even get a word in because they were just going and going and I couldn't even like clarify. So I had to become aware that I was someone that had no problem identifying my emotions and going through top to bottom, this, that, and the other. But I was never giving them a break to like catch on to that first thing I said and like process it and respond and like give them a moment. And I couldn't understand how someone didn't have access to their emotions the way I did.
Oh my God. I know we take things like that for granted. Also, this is kind of on topic, but with stewers, I often have a resentment because all of a sudden they will come forward with a laundry list of things.
Prepared.
Yeah. And it's like, I need to know about these.
I need the
when they're happening.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's just like, it's not fair. It's like, for the past 6 months, you have done this thing.
No,
I'm like,
no.
You need to tell me before that.
That's unfair.
Yeah.
Which brings us to another good tip that we had heard earlier, which is if you decide to forgive and move on from something, you cannot bring it up again, which fucking sucks. That's a hard one for me because if something similar happened in a pattern, instead of me going, hey, maybe I need to look at why I'm allowing this pattern behavior to happen over and over again, I'm going to turn it around and say, you keep using this, you keep doing this thing. Remember 2 years ago you did it and again you did it in this, instead of going, oh, maybe I need to look at why I'm allowing that pattern to keep going.
The pattern of the person doing it or the pattern of the person bringing it up?
No, the pattern of me allowing to be in a relationship where someone is patterning against my
I mean, the thing about bringing stuff up is I think it shines a light on the fact that you have a resentment. Mm-hmm. If you feel the need to bring it up, it means that you have not accepted their apology. You do still hold it against them, and like this grudge / resentment is still a thorn in your side.
Mm-hmm. That's such a good point. And like, we often think like you're over it once you get the apology and like, but the body keeps the score. And especially if something triggers you from like childhood, that adds like a lick to the wound. That's like, oof, that's going to come back up again.
It's just like, even with complimentary things, it's usually you signaling to the person that you want more of that thing. Like, oh, still thinking about that cake you made me last Sunday night.
Make me another cake.
Basically, if I said that for 10 years, you know, it's like, what's going on? Like, why are you fucking stuck on this cake?
Also, why don't you just ask, hey, will you make me another cake?
Yeah.
Is this your way of telling me I always compliment your chocolate bars too much?
No, you could compliment them more.
Okay, I do love your cookies, but please don't make me more. But I do know love them.
You guys, she's been really antagonistic, and I'm gonna say ungrateful.
Okay.
For my
every time he brings in a bag of cookies, I go, like, God damn it, and then I eat them all, and I'm like, they're so good.
She gets
thank
so
you.
Mad. But and then we just had. She's like, do you want to have a snack? And she gave me a fucking handful of cake. And I'm like, okay, wait, so you can bring it, but I can't.
Do you know why I bought those after the scary doctor appointment? And then now I had too many, and I was like, I can't eat these all by myself. So that's why I gave you one.
That's smart.
Okay, so we've got great stable people, you versus the thing, not you versus them, setting an intention for the fight, making a safe word, defining your fighter style. Are you a spewer or a stewer? Are you a right now or a scheduler? Defining your partner style, knowing that things about their fighting style might trigger you or make you uncomfortable, but how can you prepare in advance for those triggers? So for example, if you know you're with a stewer that needs time, you're going to be going crazy for the hour that they're taking a walk.
Oh, I was just thinking of that. Yeah.
So if you know that about your partner and yourself, you need to make a fucking plan for what you are going to do with that hour. It cannot be sit there and wait for them to come back, because you will just be, ooh, you're going to be so mad.
Or just distraught, or like something that could have been resolved you might go, you know what? They actually did. Yeah, exactly. And then all of a sudden it's like, you're back
at square one.
Yeah, fighting with each other.
Yeah. So making a plan, whether it's calling a friend, you going for a walk, listening to your favorite music,
getting handfuls of cake, petting your dog, like something that is happy. I don't recommend
putting yourself in an environment where you feel more angry.
Go for a fucking walk. My go-to when I've been feeling anxious or stressed has been going for a long walk.
Getting movement.
Movement is the key to like so many things.
The antidote to depression is
yeah.
movement. Okay, so then let's talk about the actual verbiage and dialogue of fighting. So this was something I learned through couples therapy, and it is a tactic called authentic relating training, which is art, short for art, which is like a style of communication. So we kind of briefly touched on it, like where if you're going to make statements, you take turns. So I get the floor for this amount of time. I can say as much as I need to, but I'm not allowed to put it on you backhandedly, like in a sneaky way. So I feel so frustrated that you said you were going to take out the trash and you didn't, because I then come home to a messy house where I feel disorganized and it makes me feel like I have to do it myself. And so staying it on your side instead of, I'm pissed because you clearly don't care about listening to my demands.
Feeding in a narrative.
Now I have to come home and do it because you don't respect my da-da-da. And there are things that trigger those emotions, and like it takes fucking practice. Like we would go at the pace of a snail when we first started, because I'd be like, I feel betrayed, and they'd be like, nope. And I'd be like, okay, I feel abandoned. Nope. Try again. Like, okay, I feel sad. And they're like, okay. So moving forward with that direction, there are things you can do, however, to get the conversation about the other person, right? So this is what brings in what we call stories. So stories are things that you believe and think to be true about the situation.
He doesn't take out the trash because he doesn't respect me.
So you're allowed to call those out. You're allowed to say, I have a story.
Oh, I love that.
That you...
The story I'm telling myself
is that you didn't take out the trash because you don't fucking care, that you don't mind living in a mess, and you don't listen to me. And that's the end. Then the partner has a chance to respond to the story. And the way you respond to a story is you first restate what you heard. So what I'm hearing is you think or believe that I don't care about taking out the trash with da-da-da-da-da-da. Is that true? And then you have the chance to like amend that and add to it. Then they get a chance to digest and process that. And then they get to say back what they actually feel or mean. So it's either, I hear that you believe that I don't respect you when I don't take out the trash, and that must be really hard for you. I don't feel that way. I do respect you, but I felt like it was being asked of me in the middle of something that was really important to me.
Sure, I have other priorities.
Yeah, and I would love to do it in a time that makes sense for me. I understand that you think that that means it won't get done and you'd rather just do it yourself, but I'm asking you to let me show you that I can do it the way that works for me. Bad example. Who's fighting about taking out the trash? But
I mean, people.
Yeah. So like literally going back and forth and not interrupting is the hardest
oh my God
thing I'd ever done in my relationship.
Yeah, because they say something and you're like, you fucking liar.
That is not fucking true.
Yeah.
Which brings me to my next point of the next tip, which you have to understand in fighting that two distinct truths are not just a possibility, it is a certainty. So the reason a fight is happening is because there are two different truths. Whether one person is right or not, it doesn't even matter. Establishing that two truths are in the room with us right now is the point that matters. And the way you're going to get through it is by trying to see the truth from your partner's side. It might not be the answer or the antidote, but it's going to give you perspective.
I'm not interested in my partner's perspective. I'm just kidding. Honestly, I kept thinking in my head, I was like, well, what if with the trash thing, the deal was he would have taken out the trash by 5 p.m. when I got home.
Yeah.
And it wasn't taken out at 5:07 when I was in fact home. To me, I'm like, you're wrong. Mm-hmm. You failed. Mm-hmm. I have every right to be upset.
Okay.
And we're done.
What I'm hearing is that you feel upset and wronged that I said I would take the trash out by 5 p.m. and it's not taken out.
Yeah,
And
Brad.
You're not, that you're right and I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that that's how you feel. And I feel badly that I didn't take the trash out by 5 p.m. And I'm fearful right now that the attitude is going to ruin the rest of my ability to have this conversation.
My attitude?
Yes.
Oof, you fucking bitch. I'm
My
so bad
attitude?
at this. Yeah,
is this
yeah.
clear? Oh my God. It would be so fun though to try and do a fight with you.
I don't know if that'd be good for us.
We don't really fight though.
I know.
But
which I like, which I, for the record, I
want to
love.
keep it that way.
Yeah.
But I do think there is something to, in a relationship that, I mean, like, I don't think we have any problems. So I don't think we need to have this.
I mean, we're 5 years in
and
it's been pretty much smooth sailing.
But like a 5-year relationship is going to have fights.
Sure.
Romantically. So I think knowing, like, again, is it worth it?
Right.
Like, how exhausting are fights, man? With a significant other?
That's why, and this is why I'm so scared I'm going to like turn into like a little recluse, like old lady who
You don't
doesn't
like
talk to
it.
anyone. I don't. And I like it does feel good to get on the other side of things.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say with the friend that I've had friction with, like, I do love them very much. But then I have to step back and be like, are the fights becoming too frequent? You know, like, is this a good relationship? Is this where I want to put that hour and a half of energy on an otherwise lovely Sunday evening? Do I want to feel this way potentially? You know, it's just like all these like questions, but it's why I like taking inventory of my like.
But that's also
life.
like such a beautiful therapy moment, because the same thing happened to me once with therapy, where she was like, why are you staying? And
Yeah.
it's often because we're afraid of losing something, right? Companionship, fun times,
Sure.
access to creativity, like
what
whatever
if
it
this
is.
is the best?
What if this is the best? And then going like with that friendship, being like, is it worth it? And until it's a thorn in your side that you're like, I can't live with this thorn on my side, I got to take it out and dispose of it. That's the hardest part, is walking away.
Sure.
Is trusting in your ability, A, to be alone,
For sure.
and B, that something better out there is waiting for you.
Of course. And it is.
But it's going to take work to find.
Yeah.
Just quickly going through these last few. It's always good to take inventory of how you feel before going into a fight. So are you hungry, tired, angry, lonely, jealous, unheard? Yep. The best advice I ever got from my therapist was, it's not actually ever about the fight. It's about how you come back together. So how do you come back together? Like for me, I found in fights, I need to be held. I need physical touch. Like if we're on opposite ends of the room, it's going to get worse. So like holding each other often helps me
Pin you down to the ground.
choke me a little.
Yeah.
Make my eyes bulge out of my head a little is the way I'm able to respond calmly.
Sure.
And also planning to fight, which the first time my therapist said that, I thought she was psychotic. But being like, I'm upset, so at 7 p.m. tonight, when we're both free, that's when I would like to access this conversation.
Yeah, I was gonna say we can't possibly say fight. I want to fight at 7.
Yeah.
We don't say that.
What do you mean?
Fight? You
Yeah.
don't go like, hey, can we fight at 7?
Yeah.
No.
I do.
That cannot. Therapists sound off. There's no way we use the verbiage like fight. Like, can we fight at 7?
I literally, that's like what I used to say. I'd be like, can we have this fight tonight?
Well, that's why your relationships didn't work out.
Damn! Drag me, daddy. But yes, coming back together.
Yeah.
Also, no threats into getting what you want. If you don't do this, then I'm gonna fucking do that. That's unfair and manipulative.
If you keep being a surfer, I'm out.
Because it's also like, okay, then fucking do it. It's really for you. Those threats are for you.
Yeah.
If you do this one more time, I'm fucking done. Then do it. That's for you, dog. That's for your own ego.
It's like you don't want to leave.
Yeah.
Because if this is really a deal breaker, you'd be gone.
Yeah. And finally, you're not fighting to figure out who is right and wrong. You're trying to fix something. So remembering that of like, your one eye twitching.
I
You
don't like, I
have
don't-
a hard time.
I don't co-sign this last one,
Yes, but like remembering that, right? Like, well, no, kind of going back to what you said. It's like being right also doesn't feel good in those moments. Like, I don't like that I have to yell at you to get you to fucking.
well, it feels like a waste of time because you're like, I'm fucking right. So like you're literally wasting my time right now.
That's like a talent you have to be able to be like, I'm right, so I'm just not even gonna like bother. That's a talent.
It sounds psychotic,
Yes,
but
it works.
it's work. It
Hey,
works
he's
so
healthy
far.
and glowing. Zachary, that was a really sciencey one.
Was that science?
I feel like that was psychotherapy.
Yeah, sure. It's
Look
like,
at the way my thigh
I love that.
waves when I jiggle
Check
it.
out the YouTube to see Kelsey's milky thighs just rippling
Waving in the wind
like a pool of white chocolate.
I did say someone should make a montage of how much my thighs shake during.
Well, you have restless leg syndrome.
sure do. And sitting like this does not help.
Oh, is it worse that way?
Yeah, because I definitely like just have more freedom to move about the cabin.
I normally do, but not right now. Oh,
Zach,
what?
Promote something.
I am headlining Zanies in Chicago September 7th through 9th, so come see
Oh
me.
my God. Also, we have Slut Pill stickers left. Not very many, but we do have some. We are out of Confident Bottom stickers. We're going to have to order more.
Y'all love stickers.
Y'all love stickies.
and that's very fun.
And we love
to
that
know.
for us because we like making them. Don't forget to rate this 5 stars because if you're going to rate it 5 stars, don't rate it all because we're sensitive. We will see you next week, confidants. Bye.
I've never had to get to that part.